Greetings, friend. Welcome back to the channel, Real Estate Insights, where we share just common sense, boots on the ground ideas, thoughts from my experience as being a realtor and managing broker, real estate broker for the last 25 years. And I try to give you the best advice so you can make wise real estate decisions. So I got a question from a buyer, and it was basically, everyone wants a great deal, John, but is buying the cheapest home in the neighborhood always the smartest decision? What do you think? Is buying the cheapest home in the neighborhood the smartest decision? Well, I know the opposite certainly could be true. I would never recommend buying the most expensive home in any neighborhood because the upside isn't there for you compared to the least expensive or cheapest home in the neighborhood. So what's really interesting about real estate is that location matters. You've heard location, location, location. Yes, it matters. If you have the same home, the same exact home, Lennar is building a home in a suburb of Tampa in the Hillsborough County. If that same home was built in Pinellas County, would the value be different? Yes, it would, because of location. And basically, what it comes down to is the soil's worth more. The brick and mortar, the block, the stucco, the drywall, all cost the same. But because of where it's located, it's going to be either less or more. And I'm sure you've seen that as you travel around. If you've got a certain price point, a certain home that you're looking for, let's take the 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 1,800 square foot model sample that we've been referring to in previous videos. That same home in Spring Hill in Hernando County is going to be far less than that same exact home in Pinellas County. Location makes a big difference. What you need to be setting yourself up for, and with my help, is to make the wisest real estate decision for long-term growth in equity. We cannot predict the future, but history shows a very interesting pattern that values do increase on average 3% per year. Obviously, that's going to come up and down. We've had increases over the last 20 years. Some years went up double digits. And some years, very, very few out of the last 50, I believe. There may have been 2 years in which values actually decreased in value, which is just unheard of. And there were certain circumstances that caused that. But for the most part, values will increase over the long term. And that's why real estate is such a great investment. Even if it went up 3% per year, and you were, instead of paying rent, paying a mortgage, okay, 10 years, that's 30% increase in value. So your $400,000 home should be worth in excess of $500,000 within 10 years. And you're paying down the mortgage as well. So that's why real estate's always going to be a great investment. You know what? Another thing we want to look at is not only with location, but cosmetic issues versus structural issues. Cosmetic are easy. You can always paint something. You can always, redo the flooring, get rid of the carpet, put tile in. But when it comes to structural issues, that's a major problem. And that is maybe why that home is the cheapest home on the street. It's the cheapest home in the community. We had, a slew of sinkhole areas north of the Tampa Bay area that created such a stigma in a very negative way for that property. So that's why maybe that home was the least expensive on that street. And we always have to look at comparables, right? That home, if you know that a home is the most inexpensive on that street and is still sitting on the market, boy, you've really got to, pay close attention and figure out why. Because even if you're getting a great deal on something, it may not be a great deal. That's why you need the help of a professional who's there in your corner looking out for your best interest. And I've had people go into a home, they loved it, but they didn't see the things that I saw from my experienced eye when it's got Money Pit written all over it. You know, when we first sit down and we're going to have a checklist of what's the perfect dream home for you. How many bedrooms, bathrooms, pool, no pool, size, HOA, no HOA, solar panels, no solar panels, schools. I mean, what's the most important thing that you're going to be looking for in a home? And we have a checklist. You know, we're checking off, we want to make sure the yes boxes far outweigh the no boxes, the positives versus the negatives. I'm working with a lady right now that she sees nothing but kitchen cabinets. Okay. The home could be falling down, but it's got a lot of kitchen cabinets. That doesn't make sense to me. And I'm trying to convey that to her. It's like, look let's find the right home that's got more positive check marks than negative check marks. And I put together a buyer's guide as well. So look in the description here below this video. Reach out to me with any questions you may have about real estate. I don't care where it is, if it's in Florida or California or New York. Ask me. If I can help you by providing you that information, I will. And if I don't have that answer, I promise I will get that for you. My goal is to make you the most informed you can be to make wise real estate decisions. Period. That's all I want to do. And if you enjoy listening to this and learning more about the buying experience and selling of real estate, subscribe. This way you'll get notifications all the time. I'm trying to put as many educational, helpful, fun videos out as I can to help you make, again, a wise decision when it comes to real estate. I'm John Rutkowski. I help families transition to the next chapter in their real estate life, and I'd love to help you if you want my help. Reach out anytime. My information's below. And until we chat, take care of yourself and each other and be well. Peace.